let's talk about pilot studies in the context of surveys. So first of all, let's answer the question, why do we call it a pilot? Well, when you hear the word pilot, the first thing that comes to your mind most likely is an aeroplane and the guy who is responsible for making the aeroplane take off, the pilot. It is the very same idea with pilot studies. So with pilot studies, we're trying to assess whether the study can take off. So we're interested in the viability and feasibility of a study logistically, but also in other things like the methodology and the conduct of overall study. So in the context of a survey, why might we need a pilot survey or a pilot study? We might need it if our study is a bit complicated. So for example, if our study is being done in multiple countries, multiple languages, involves incentives, those are things that are complicated, especially on a very broad scale, on a large scale. So instead of rushing in to do a very large study that we're not really sure we can pull off, we want to make sure that the study can actually take off before we do the big study. And so we do a much smaller study to assess that this study is truly viable and feasible before we jump into the bigger thing. And so at the end of our pilot survey, the decision may be go or no go. So go meaning, okay, this is feasible, this is viable, and this is logistically feasible. And so it's a go. Or it could be a no-go. Another decision might be, okay, it's a go, but we will trim down the scope of the study. Maybe we'll do it in fewer countries, or maybe we'll modify the instrument. Maybe from our pilot study, we found that the instrument or the methodology wasn't as straightforward as we thought it was, or maybe some questions were not well understood, so we might have to refine our instrument. It could also mean that we have to adjust our recruitment. So maybe we found out that during the pilot study, it was harder to recruit than we thought it would be. And so we might have to figure out newer ways of recruiting. So that's what the pilot study is. And on the Chisquares platform, you can launch pilot surveys. Each response that is collected on the platform is marked with a timestamp, so you can know exactly which points in time they were collected, so that you can track the variability in responses over time. And that could help you plan for the bigger study when you do conduct it.